What's going on, guys? Just want to let you guys know about another big sale we're having at Hosstile. This is a free shipping deal we have going today, tomorrow, and Sunday up until 11:59 p.m. Eastern. That's free shipping to the U.S. and free shipping over $150 to Canada and the U.K. The free shipping codes will be in the description. Now, I just want to show you the website really quick. I won't keep you too long. This is a sales section. These are limited items that will not be back in stock after they're gone. So get them quickly before they're all sold out, but they're all 50% off. Get something for your girlfriend. Don't leave her out. These half tops will look good on your girl. Trust me. And then get over to the supplement line. Check out everything we got. Everything is clinically dosed, made with the best ingredients possible, and nothing is left to spare. This is for serious lifters, people who want to get the most out of their workouts. This is what you got to use. Everybody says that, but our ingredient panels do not lie. So check them out, guys. Free shipping. This is a good weekend to get your hands on some Hosstile stuff if you haven't tried it. And if you have in the past, it's a good deal for you to get some stuff and save on the shipping costs. Thank you. All right, we got Big Samson in the house. He is
what's up?
A week out. Paul,
Yes.
Do you think Samson's going to win?
Yes, I've thought that since the very beginning. Samson, I'm not wavering, Samson. I believe in you, my friend.
Not wavering. He said.
I am.
Not this time.
I do want to change my prediction that I made.
Okay, wait. Okay, wait. Let's go back. Samson, we're going to do this right in front of you. So Paul has Samson, Nick, Rami, Clarita, Andrew. Ben has Nick, Samson, Rami, Andrew, Clarita. Okay, Ben, you want to change something?
Yeah. Go Samson, Andrew, Nick, Rami.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Andrew?
Yeah.
Really? He's working hard. I see his video there with Psycho.
Nick and Rami. There you go.
The rest is the same.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that last shot of Bonac?
I don't know if I agree with you guys, man. Fucking Nick is looking crisp as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that he's going to win, but I don't see him in. I don't know. I know Andrew's doing all this new stuff with Psycho Lewis. I wonder though, and a fear is he like Samson where he can push him to the max and not lose any roundness? Or is he going to come in more shredded but have a little bit more flatter look?
Yeah.
You know,
that's one thing we're sort of afraid of. Obviously, where we're trying to push down and push that conditioning, is always a case of, okay, we will lose that roundness and that sort of freakish pop that we normally have. But you know what? This is one thing where we kind of sort of tested out for a few weeks, and we saw that, you know what, I push to the bone and I still end up looking full as hell. And it's nice, but it's irritating as well because Milos makes me suffer more because he thinks, oh well, you never look flat, so you always look smiley and happy, so you must not be suffering. So let's make you suffer some more. I'm like, you have no idea, man. You catch me on a good day.
I used to do that when I sent pictures to Chad. I'd make make a miserable face. He'd be like, "Okay, cheat tonight." I'm like, "All right, sweet." Okay, so you're a week out, right?
Mm-hmm.
What? No, a week and 1 day, right? Because when this airs, you'll be a week out.
Mm-hmm.
Are you fucking excited? How much better? How much better? Listen, without pumping your own tires.
Yeah.
How much better? And be conservative. How much better than the Olympia should people expect you to be?
Well, put it this way. You know that this is, normally when I go on the show, I'm always, okay, I'm going to do my best, but I'm never truly confident like that. I always think, I think I'm going to be, do well, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
This is the first time where we've seen the program. I'm seeing what's happening, especially coming off the Olympia stage where I saw how close we were. Where I'm looking at it, I'm just going, you know what? We are so much better than what we were in Olympia. So much tighter, so much more just refined than we were. And we were still holding on to that size that we have. That I'm looking at and going, man, you know what? I know I'm not being big-headed, but I just don't see me losing.
What's going on, guys? This episode is brought to you by True Classic Tees. If you go to trueclassic.com/RBP, you can get 25% off your order, or use code RBP at checkout to get 25% off your order. And if you order over $100, you also get free shipping. Now, listen, I just put in about a $500 order with these guys yesterday. I want you guys to check out this website. Now, The reason I did is because sometimes I like to go out and just wear some plain clothes with no writing on it or anything. So if you check this out, they have everything from t-shirts to joggers to like athletic tees are a little bit more fitted. They got jeans here. And if you keep going down, they got some chinos, chino shorts. They got into polos here, and they have all different colors, all different styles. And you keep going, you got long sleeves, some more tees here. Then you got Henleys with the buttons down here. And you keep going, you got jackets, and then finally you have underwear. And these underwear are awesome, to be completely honest with you guys. Listen, go to trueclassictees.com or trueclassic.com/RBP or use code RBP. They got a lot of sales on the website. You can get the sales that they have on the website, also add the RBP code and get even more sale discount. And then you get free shipping over $100. Guys, it's amazing. The stuff feels great. It's actually really, really well priced. Check out trueclassic.com/RBP. Get some extra clothes for yourself now.
I'm sorry, but it's the most complete I have ever looked, and it's the most hardest I've ever looked. And I'm still holding on to the freaky size I had at Olympia. So I'm just like, okay, you know what? With this combination, if we can get a result like that at Olympia just a few months ago, well, about 2 or 3 months ago, and we've toned it up this much, this far, it's almost like we've had a year off and come back again.
Yeah,
we've changed this much and got this much better.
So you
The
think?
last,
Go ahead, Ben. Sorry.
I was gonna say the last update I saw with the hamstrings and glutes and the lower back are so much harder and tighter than they were for the.
Do you think it's the duration of time? Because I feel like it's tricky because sometimes people say like if you diet too long, you start to fade, your body starts to wear out. But it's almost like with your physique, the longer you stay in prep, the better you seems you're getting.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I mean, that's the thing, because I think where in the past where I didn't have such established muscle yet, what you tend to start losing those new muscle groups like the back and the shoulder, you start to lose that. But now it's just different now. Now it's almost like that muscle was so established, so we can afford to keep me, on low calories for a lot longer time. And coming off the Olympia prep and still carrying on prepping, the skin just gets thinner and thinner and thinner. And we look every week and we just like, man, even every week, Milos will look at me and he wants to make drastic cuts to my diet. And he looks and he goes, look, honestly, I don't see why we should, because you're getting harder and you're still holding that freakish roundness. So should we just make cuts for the sake of it? Well, your body's already doing that over and over. You're basically looking sharper anytime. So he just kind of like just eases in and just makes little changes so not to interrupt that.
So let me ask you, is he pushing you harder than the last prep, or is it similar? Like, are you on less carbs? Are you?
I'm on more. I'm
You're
on
on
more.
Yeah.
I was starving at Olympia, man. Olympia, 7 weeks out, I was so tired I could barely train.
So you're getting you're getting sharper with more food, but basically just because you've been dieting for so long, your body's processing it all better.
Yeah, and it sort of brings back to mind, it sort of makes me think now, something I haven't thought about, like, okay, going into Olympia next year or into a bigger show next year, seeing the way things has worked out now, because it always seems to be that when I do a longer prep or when I do my second show in a concession, that's when I truly hit my best. Yeah. And it makes me think, man, I know some guys, when you start being that top 5 echelon, you just don't do any show but the Olympia. It makes me consider the idea of, okay, we're doing a show before I get to the show, almost like a trial show every time now.
I don't think that's a wrong way to think, but I also think, Samson, your muscle is much more mature.
Yeah.
Like the more mature muscle and the more size you put on and the denser that muscle gets, the easier it's going to get shredded.
Yeah.
So like you dieting 2 years ago is not the same as you dieting now. You've put on fucking 20 pounds of muscle since then.
Yeah, definitely changed.
I'm taking a beating with my fan base, by the way, Samson, because people are like, all you do is talk about Samson. You're fucking.
Oh man! I mean, what do they expect you to do though?
Right.
It's like. Do I expect to hear Milos in a podcast say, "No, I don't expect Samson to win"? I'm like, man, fuck you! Get out of here. This thing I've ever heard. Like, of course you're gonna support somebody you have something with.
Well, no, but I gotta be honest. Like, I have to give an honest critique when we're talking about physiques, but. I don't know if you saw, Ben, I know you don't watch the podcast, Samson. I'm pretty sure you're probably too busy to watch it as well, but I played this on the last podcast. I thought you guys would find it interesting because let me just pull this up real quick. So this is from before I signed you, Samson.
Yeah.
This is
all the stuff
over 3 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what I was really impressed with in this show?
Who?
Well, we'll move on to something else, but there's the guy from fucking England.
Samson. Yeah.
He's got I watched so when I first watched the video of the first call out, I saw the lineup come out, and I was like, who's the fucking guy on the left?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
That's interesting. See, that's interesting. So it's always been there, you know?
That's what I'm saying. So people give me shit, and I'm like,
Yeah, but the thing is, right, you've always given me good critique, though. Because remember last year after the Arnold, you said, okay, you know what? If Samson had more back, more delts, and better conditioning. And I listened to that, and I was like, okay, guess what? I want to go get more back, more better conditioning, and a bit more delts. So it's not like you ever say, oh, man, he's great. He's going to win everything. Everything's awesome. Let's just go. So I don't understand the whole idea of people thinking that.
Yeah. No, I've always tried to be as honest as possible with you, but you've brought up most of those parts. I still think, like, to be completely dominant, a little more. I don't know how much more muscle you put on. Do you think you've gotten bigger since the last show?
You know what? Looking at this now, I would neither be the same or I'll be bigger. And it's a weird thing because obviously when we're not checking the weight, we're going to find out next week anyway before it comes down.
You're still not checking your fucking weight?
No, I'm still not. I'll find out on Monday. Before I fly down to Ohio. But honestly, it's a weird thing because you focus on getting harder, but then you're not. It's weird because you're not losing size, and everybody in the gym going, man, dude, you're looking bigger. So I don't know if it's like, okay, because you're looking more shredded, it gives you the perception that you're bigger. But then all my clothes still fit the same way. Like 4XL t-shirts, I still walk around in comfortably, and it's a weird one because I'm gonna have to see what happens because I definitely neither I'm the same or I'm bigger.
You look bigger.
You've influenced me, Samson. Me and Ben started a transformation about a week and a half ago.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. We're battling it out to see who can lose the most fat the fastest.
Oh, really? Well, you guys are gonna shrink down for it.
Yeah, and
I'm putting weight on at the minute. It's driving me nuts.
I haven't weighed myself. I'm doing Samson strategy. I'm just gonna try and get shredded.
When's the end date of this?
What do we say? 6 weeks?
Once I'm ahead. After Fouad gives up and eats a bunch of pizza,
I was close last night. My wife went to bed, and I went to bed, and then I was like, I can't sleep, so I got up. And I went downstairs to watch some TV, and I'm like, there's a pint of Ben and Jerry's in the fridge from like a week or two ago. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna smash that ice cream, then I'll sleep like a baby. And I actually opened the freezer. I took it out. I grabbed like the plastic piece on top to like rip off the seal. I was like, fuck it. I put it back, and I fucking ran back to bed. I was like,
what time was this around?
This was like 12, something like that.
You text me at like 11:30, so my power's out.
Yeah.
You were gonna eat in the dark?
Yeah.
Or power back on by then.
No, it was in the dark. I was like, I had a flashlight. I was like, but I remembered Ben. I was like, I can't let Ben win. I put the fucking
No, I'm taking like fish and potato to restaurants with my family.
Oh, you're going hard.
Huge.
I haven't used a condiment or a grind of salt in 3 weeks now.
I didn't know that. I had like a cup of ketchup with my fucking.
I don't touch condiments. There's no flavoring. I don't season my meats. There's nothing on them. It is like dry bone chicken.
Okay, this is good for me.
Oh shit! I gotta tell you. So I told you when my dad was here, we were going out walking quite a lot. Mm-hmm. Samson's seen where I live, and so. The other day, my dad left, and I was like, "Fuck!" The day's so busy once the boys get up, and I've got work and everything. So I'm like, "Screw it! I'm gonna get up at 4:30, get out, take the dog for a hard walk in the morning." And I'm walking at like a 9-minute kilometer, right? So I'm fucking pacing. So I get my flashlight. It's pitch black, 5 o'clock in the morning, and I walk down that road.
Yeah.
So I'm walking down there, and there's 2 cemeteries, right?
Yeah. What the fuck, man?
So I'm like, I'm walking along. I get out of my house. I'm like, sure, it's like there's not a light. There's no light pollution anywhere, right? I live right in the middle of fucking nowhere, and I got this flashlight, and it's like, I don't know. It's one of those real powerful ones, right? But it's dead straight down here. Yeah. And I'm like, fucking hell, it's started getting spooky, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, my dog would run off, and so I can't see him now. So I'd like spin around, I see his eyes. And then every now and then I'd call for him, and then I'd hear like his claws and paws on the concrete coming up behind me. And I'm like, I hope that's my dog.
Why do you think?
So
it took him
anyway,
out?
so because I live on one road and there's fuck all both ways, right?
Yeah, you don't know where you live. You don't
yeah.
know where he lives,
Yeah.
Paul. It's like the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. And so anyway, we get to like 1.5 kilometers down, which is the second cemetery. I turn around there, I start coming back up. Walking back up again, pitch black. I can see dozers in front of me. And all of a sudden he just takes off.
Oh no.
Just goes. So I put the spotlight up. There's a skunk, right?
Oh no.
So,
Oh no.
and I'm like, get back here. Dozer, no, fuck, get back. He picks this thing up and just fucking
Oh,
like this with it.
Did he kill it?
And he's fucking ragdolling this thing for like about 15 seconds. And then he goes, oh, runs off because it's like sprayed him. But I'm like 20, so I'm like 20 yards behind. He's doing it. He's let this thing go. It's dead. He's broken this fucking thing. It's in half, right?
Yeah.
And he stinks. And we're over 1 kilometer from the house, and he's in front of me. And I'm like, you stink. So the whole way back was like, I don't know what, 10 minutes. I'm like, you fucking idiot. You're a fucking piece. I'm just like, and it's just this. It's in the back of my throat. He's foaming at the mouth, and he's rubbing his face on the on the gravel, trying like because itching so bad. Yeah. And there's no water anywhere. I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. and then every now and then, like in between berating him, I'm like, go away from me, go away from me. And I look at him like, cemetery, pitch back, Dozer, come back here, come here.
Yeah.
that
First of all, I wouldn't walk down that fucking road at night.
No.
I got an issue with cemeteries and shit. I'm like, fuck that.
I would have walked down Ben's Road during the daytime.
I got my green card like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, so I can actually go and buy a handgun now. So I'm gonna buy a fucking walk or something, and then take
it out at 5 in the morning. Yeah.
No,
listen, I've always heard of that, and we've had a dog for years, and it's never happened. And now 2 of us. My dog got sprayed. I was sitting on the fucking toilet at like 5 in the morning. Summer comes bursting into the bathroom. The dog got sprayed, and he's rubbing his face on the fucking tile in the bathroom and everything. Dude, it's 5 a.m. My eyes are half closed. I'm in the shower with the dog. Fucking
just stinks so bad, huh?
It was, dude. I could still like, because when I'm washing him, he won't let me wash his nose.
Yeah.
So if I get near his face, I can kind of still smell it, like right here. Like, fuck! We had to shampoo the carpets. We did get like a special solution for the fucking tile. We had to wash all the bedding. Because after
Dozer's not come in the house since. No, I know. Fuck you. You stink. You stay out there.
Yeah, I mean, you guys got him trained to be like an outdoor dog. Fucking Cade's a baby, man. He can't stay outside, so we had to fucking.
How do you get it off him? Just soap and water?
No, I went to the vet. I got this like special. Well, first we Googled like home remedies, right? So
tomato paste and
it was like baking soda, vinegar, and like something else. So I washed him with that. Then I washed him with a different solution that we found. It was vinegar and something else. Then I washed him with his actual shampoo, and he still stunk.
Still?
Yeah. So I took him. So I took him to the fucking vet, and they have like a special skunk spray remover.
Yeah.
So I fucking washed him with that, and he still fucking stunk. So I took him back. We got a different solution. Took him back in the fucking shower, washed him with that shit, then washed him with the soap again. Then he finally like, I can still kind of smell it here and there at times, but
Denise has this. We get like a tomato paste, and we just rub that all into him, like massage it into him, and neutralizes it, and then wash it off him.
That's what everybody says. Bathe them in tomato sauce, but I just thought that was like a myth. I didn't think that was.
It works.
Does it?
What doesn't?
I mean,
we've got to spray.
We've got to do one more, but
what'd you say, Paul?
What's in the skunk spray that doesn't come off?
Let's find out.
I don't know, man, but it's their survival. They've evolved with it, and it's fucking pungent.
Right? Yeah.
What's in skunk spray?
Cavities.
It must smell like hell in your house, eh? If a dog comes in the house like that.
Skunk spray is made of organic sulfur-containing thiols, which are responsible for its characteristic odor. Sulfur has an odor often described as spoiled cabbage or rotten eggs.
Rotten eggs.
Good examples of thiols are mercaptans.
That's a good example. An example that no one's fucking heard of.
But it's added to your natural gas. That smell you get.
Anyway, it's organic sulfur containing thiols. That's what it's made of.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Whatever it is, I thought it was more oil based because when something's oil based, it's harder to get out.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, and he's all itching his eyes. Then I got even more panic because I read online if it's in their eyes for too long, they can go blind. So I'm like washing out his
geez.
fucking eyeballs.
oh.
Anyway, I went to the vet. The vet's like, he's fine. Just go home. He stinks. It's not a big deal. Like, all right. Guess I overreacted. But yeah, fuck that, Ben, man. That street and that cemetery is like an old rickety cemetery. It's not even like a nice.
Well, especially the second one. That second one is it's a proper horror film.
And there's like an old shitty house next to it and shit. I'm like, nah,
Oh, man.
That's a
It's a horror movie.
Yeah.
I live in fucking leave it to Beaver land.
Yeah.
There's people around here that shoot other people's dogs if they're off the leash and shit.
Wow.
Serious?
Oh, wow. Oh,
Well, because look, so when my dad was here, we walked down there at like 10 in the morning one day. We came back up and I'm like, those are here now. There were 3 dogs that were just trolling along and they'd come from all the way in town, but they'd packed up and come down. I'm like, don't you go. I mean, he was twice the size of all of them, but I'm like, don't get in a scrap. One was a pit, and so we had to. People, if they're on your property,
You can shoot them.
You can, eh?
people are not going to mess around out here.
Yeah.
Huh. Crazy.
Well, you got young kids or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if there was a pit running around my fucking yard and I had a little kid, I would fucking probably.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd shoot it, but I would be worried.
Or if you got a small animal or something.
Yeah, like if you mean like if you have one
Like a
yourself.
small dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Anyway,
shit, so there's just coyotes running around all over the back pasture, so we'll shoot those whenever we see them.
yeah.
Do you get any wild boars out there, Ben?
Samson's face.
You guys got too many wild animals in the States.
Oh,
man. Stay in
I gotta
Canada,
tell
you
you,
guys are weird. We don't even
I
have, I
gotta
don't think we even have skunks here. I don't think we don't even have skunk here.
I have skunks.
I think the most we'll probably get is what? I don't know, squirrels? Like badgers, badgers as far as I go. And even that is a bit
Badgers, foxes, foxes, and squirrels.
You're wrong,
like
Samson.
British vermin.
Samson, you're wrong.
What?
Skunks. A small number of striped skunks are thought to be living in the wild in Britain.
Oh, all right,
Small
that's
number.
a small
Really? I've never
number in
seen
the
one.
wild.
Yeah. You ever see a wild pig, Ben?
So we had one that we were keeping. It was half. It was like a mix, and then we had to shoot it because it was just tearing everything up.
Yeah.
So now we've got 2 pigs. The black pig that we've got is actually the daughter of the wild pig that we had. Yeah.
Oh, but they're yours.
Man,
Yeah.
why you guys just shoot everything? It's like, well, there's no other way to kill it. Well, we had a wild pig, but we had to shoot it. Like, yeah, we had a few stray dogs, so we had to shoot it. Like,
Well, so
you guys just
it's
shoot
funny.
everything. Right?
It's funny.
It's like the way we saw every problem. Oh, he
Shoot
came
it.
into my land, so I shot it.
See, Samson, that's how.
Put a fence up.
Look at. See, you can see the difference. That's how long Ben has been gone from the UK.
Yeah,
He thinks it's normal to shoot everything now.
to shoot everything. Right? Yeah. I got a little
Hey,
problem with this.
I'm a nicer person. I'm a nicer person with the risk that I might get shot also. So
Oh,
That's true. That's true.
no, the kid I'm training with, I just started training with him this week. His actual name, his full first name is Hoss. You met him, I think.
Nice.
So we're training on the first day. He's like, so don't suppose you'd have any interest, like he's got a real southern accent. But I don't suppose you have any interest, like one night coming out with me and just shooting some pigs, because I've got a night vision scope that I've put on my AR, and I just go out and he goes, I've got like 6 or 7 spots, I'll go and shoot pigs. And he's like, it's exactly like Call of Duty, it's so much fun, you come. I'm like, okay, one day
You can do
I'll...
that? That's legal?
Yeah.
Yeah? You have to, like, if you go on someone's private property though, like don't farmers invite people?
Oh yeah, if you go, I'm assuming, yeah, you're not going to go on someone's property, but if you're
Is
on
it
unclaimed
legal?
land-
Is it legal? I think it's welcome, isn't it?
That's what I
if
find
you're
is such a
if you're
problem.
killing those pigs, will just wreck everything.
Yeah.
Is it legal to shoot wild hogs in Texas?
There's probably certain
I
city
don't
limits.
think there's a quota. I don't think there's a quota.
Landowners or their agents are allowed to kill feral hogs on their property without a hunting license if feral hogs are causing damage.
Okay.
There you go.
Yep.
See, Samson, you can shoot anything.
I know. That's the weirdest thing ever, man. I mean, it must be fun, but at the same time, it's like a bit crazy, isn't it?
You could stab them like Branch.
Like,
Yeah,
getting a proper knife
Hey,
fight with a hole.
Brad, you were there when he showed us that footage from the scope, right? He shot from like over a mile, that deer from over a mile away.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That
I think he
was
showed me.
crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah.
That was Branch.
Branch is like a fucking Navy SEAL, or
Yeah, pretty much.
close enough.
Yeah.
So Samson, what's on the agenda for the next week? Are you going harder into the prep, or you start feeding up?
I mean, we're pretty much at the end of this week then, and then we fly out on Tuesday, I think. So I mean, suffering today, suffering tomorrow, hosting through the weekend, and then fly out, suffering, then self deplete Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think.
Yeah.
This time I want to leave carbon up to literally the day before the show.
Is that going to work for you though? One day?
Because that's what I mean. Like I'm
already full.
I'm always full. I always look full. So it's almost like, you know, if we leave it that late, also we don't have to sort of pile in so much carbs as well.
But I don't
have to try so hard to dry out either.
Listen, you have a coach, so whatever I say doesn't mean shit. But I'm just curious what you guys think. So when I look like Phil Heath, right? When you look at Phil Heath's muscle bellies, I envision, I don't know intricately, but I envision that he has the same type of muscle bellies you have, where no matter how flat he got, he was still round.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you could see it even in his retirement. The guy's fucking barely like training now, and he's still round as fuck.
Yeah.
So I assume he's the same thing as you. But I think that's where Hani was kind of shined through even more, as he took somebody who had that roundness and filled him up. That's why you get pictures like from the fucking Iron Man.
Yeah.
Remember Phil Heath at the Iron Man where he looked like he was going to explode?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is like, yeah, you're round, but maybe if you fill that round guy out, he looks like a fucking cartoon character.
And harder. A lot of times if you get it right, they're harder and fuller.
Yeah, so I wonder if one day is enough, because usually what I find is when you're depleted, like especially if you've been on low carbs for a while, it usually takes 2 or 3 days for those carbs to really like.
Yeah, but you know what we notice, especially when he gives me like a refeed on a Saturday or something like that. After 2 meals, like most of the like videos I post up and everything else is normally after. Well, it's after 2 meals when I just finished chest training in the morning.
Yeah,
and automatically after those 2 meals, I'm already getting that full look already. Yeah. So it's almost a thing where we notice that the longer I stay fuller, the more I start to retain water underneath the skin, and the more we then have to use, whatever to try to dry out. So it's almost like we're trying to save up on that drying out process by trying to push it too hard.
Go ahead, Ben. Sorry. No, go ahead.
I was interested. You say like you've been doing refeeds every Saturday. What like, can you talk me through? I'm interested to know how aggressive your refeeds are.
They're not that. I mean, pretty much it's like I go from having 1 cup of rice to 1.5 cup of rice.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but wait a minute. I felt that before. Like when John would give me a refeed after a couple meals, I would feel like, oh man, I'm a new man. I'm ready to. But I think it's a different feeling between that and
really
a full day of fucking eating, right? Or 2 full days of eating.
Yeah.
But I do understand walking that line between like wanting
because if we try, because this is what we tried before in the past, even the Olympia, where we try so hard to fill me out so much, to be so big and so round. Yeah. And then what happens is you tend to have to deal with the water retention problem that comes from that. Even though we're filling out with like clean food and rice and everything like that, when we notice when it's been like a day or two, by the second day, there's almost that film of water that stays underneath the skin compared to like when I'm just a little bit full. Yeah. And it's almost like then you're obviously trying to get rid of that, and you might end up losing some lines and stuff like that. So it's almost like it's trying to not play that game so much.
Well, you almost end up back in the same place, because if you think about it, if your physique is here and then you fill for 2 days and then you give yourself like a half a diazide or something, are you just going to end up back in the same place?
Right.
Yeah, but the thing is, you end up losing lines that you normally wouldn't have if you just kind of fly it out naturally.
Some sharpness, you're right.
When water comes out, it doesn't just come out underneath the skin; it comes out from anywhere. So it might be a case that you might lose the lines of your legs or your shoulders or something. It's not the way you normally would do it through the week when you sort of like just depleting slowly through the week. So I think it's sort of like trying to play that line. I mean, this is the thing, bodybuilding, especially with us, is like it's still a process where we're still trying to figure out the perfect peak week sort of thing. But at the same time, it's almost like where we've watched me every week, we then realize the less we change, the more predictable we can have the look. The more we try to play the fill you out as much as you can or dry you out as much as we can look, we end up with something that we pretty much like, okay, that's what we just end up with.
Well, look,
Yeah.
my most predictable prep of all the preps I did was one where John just added basically 50 grams of carbs a day.
Yeah.
So like I started on Monday, and every day he would add 50 grams of carbs. So by the end, I was only up like 200 or 300 grams from my diet. So it wasn't like a dramatic like spike. It was more like this gradual. So my body just kept flushing water the whole time.
Yeah.
So that's another strategy too. But for people listening, just so people know, Samson or most pros or some pros are the exception, not the rule. Most guys can't fill out in one day. So
No.
Yeah.
be careful like listening to that and going, oh, I can just fill out on the day before the show. That doesn't always work for everybody. So you have to know your own body. Ben, how many guys have you coached that could fill out that quickly? You might have like Neil maybe, but Neil was so dieted down, it probably took him like a week.
Neil wasn't even full. Yeah, it wasn't even full.
Yeah.
It was fuller than his dead flat look, but it wasn't full.
Neil seems like the kind of muscle that could fill out pretty quickly if he's not, if he's not in the situation he was with Classic.
Round.
Yeah, if he can digest it, then yeah, he gets full very quick.
I want to show people a picture of Neil just because if you don't follow him, and I'm not doing this just because he's my athlete. I know people are going to think that, but this is a pretty fucking impressive transformation from Classic. So for those that don't know, Neil moved from Classic to Open because his body was he had too much muscle and had too much tough a time making weight. And Ben's coaching him through this transformation.
And he wasn't doing himself justice at the weight cap.
Look at this. Look at the fucking proportions on this guy. This is 262.
That's crazy.
He's still lean as hell too.
Jeez.
Like
He should be on. To see him on stage like that.
Well, I mean, down
a little
down at 240, 245, but yeah, fuck.
Looks way better.
This is the only issue I see. We need a little bit more ham.
Yeah.
Back of the hamstrings and the adductors.
But from the front, fuck.
Looks crazy.
Yeah, his upper body from the front is spectacular.
That's a great shot for him.
Even his legs from the front are good, Ben. I mean, a little bit more.
Yeah.
There's one
But
leg
the
bigger than
upper
the other.
body on those two shots, those upper body, I'm like, Jesus, that lat spread is cartoonish.
Yeah, it's rare that you see this kind of development in here, like this whole thing here.
That lat comes out so wide.
Yeah,
and it's just
good for him, man.
Yeah.
If you guys aren't following Neil, at Neil_Curry, Currey for those listening on audio.
He's very much. We have the same mentality. He has the same mentality that he had during the Olympia prep. I think he's a little crazy, but I can appreciate what he's doing and his mindset. He started coaching everybody he was doing some online work last year and helping some people out. And he knocked it all on the head because he said, I'm too focused on what I want to do. And I want to get to the Olympia as an open class guy, which means I have to win an open class show. So I'm all the way in, and he's here for it. So it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same as his pre-contest diet, just with more food. And then obviously different drug setup, but the way he's approaching things is exactly the same. You know what I like about Neil, and this could be my own mistake as to what I see from his videos, but I like that he's crazy. No, I'm serious, Paul. Because think about it. Like back when we started, I know it sounds so fucking old. I'm sorry, but people are always like, "Oh, Fouad's not optimal. Fouad's not scientific," and I'm like, "No, I'm not. I don't give a fuck. I just trained my fucking ass off, and that's how I got to where I was." And when I see Neil, I kind of see the same thing. He's just like, you know what? I don't give a fuck what I have to eat. I don't give a fuck what I have to do. I'm just going to go absolutely insane until I get there.
That is very true.
Yeah, I have to actually be very careful with him. Yeah, because he'll just redline and never tell me I'm fucked.
John,
so we had to open up I had to have a chat with him and listen. Like, I won't hurt you, but we have to communicate. I'm not prepared to just, okay, you're all in, which means I have to go all in and we push everything. I'm not doing that with you. I'm not. There's going to be times where I'm in control and we're backing off and we're doing this, we're doing that, and I need you to just listen and communicate with me, and because he has that that crazy 19, 20-year-old that's just getting into it would just run through a brick wall, and he will run through a brick wall.
I love that though. I love that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
John used to say that to me when I was 35. Like, that doesn't go away.
Yeah.
John used to say to me, "You're your own worst enemy," because I would go way past where he wanted me to go. Yeah. But I fucking love that because it's the opposite of everything nowadays.
Yeah.
Everything nowadays is... Go ahead, man. No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, he said, I have very ambitious goals, but what's the fucking point otherwise? And he said, I want to be an open class guy with the condition that I had at the Olympia. And I'm like, okay.
Look, there's a lot of people with lofty goals. Like, you know, I recognize that. It looks to me like he's having fun. And that's what I like, because nowadays I feel like guys are so caught up trying to be perfect and trying to be so scientific and trying to be so by the fucking book, and like, well, this scientific method said this and this scientific. I'm like, motherfucker, just get under the bar and lift the fucking weight. Look at this guy. Like, I'm not saying he's like, obviously you have his instruction, but when I watch his videos, I see a guy who's fucking crazy.
Look, I see that in him, and there's part of me where it's like, okay, I have to let that wild animal run as well.
Yeah. Look,
so...
I'll give you a great example. Look, and I'm sure a lot of people aren't going to agree with me on this one, but it's just the way I feel. It's my own opinion. I found these guys. So these guys are new. I don't know if they're new. They're new to me, and apparently they're extremely popular kids, and they're fucking nuts, and I love it. These guys are the Trend Twins. I don't know if you guys have heard of them yet.
No.
They're called the Trend Twins. They're twins, apparently. I don't know too much about them. I watched a few of their clips on Instagram. They have a YouTube page, like 400,000 followers. So apparently they're coming into their own as far as being super popular. But people have been messaging me, asking me to get them on the podcast. And I'm like, I don't even think these guys know who I am. We're like totally different generations. But I went to their Instagram, and it looks like they're just this is what we were like when we were in our 20s. They're not like
just two meatheads.
Yeah, they're just meatheads. They're like, we love to fucking train. We look at Valentine's Day. No, it's back and by day.
That's awesome.
Like, these guys are just, they're not like, oh, get your logbook out and like, look at this fucking, look at this
modern
kid.
Like modern day barbarian brothers.
Act natural, your gym crush is coming.
Are they on the short side? They're on the shorter side, right?
They look like they're short.
Yeah.
Are they American?
I think so, yeah. These guys are just fucking... We're my unemployed friends, 2 p.m. on a Wednesday. This was me.
Yeah, that was us, man. Yeah.
This was us. This was us. I would always think to myself, like, we're the only young guys here at the gym, because we were bouncing at night. We'd be at the gym at like 2 o'clock. But like, this is, I don't know, man. This is what I like to see. These guys are just fucking, you know what? We're not worried about being perfect. We're just fucking having a good fucking time.
Yeah, it's enjoying the process.
And I think
they're training hard, right?
Yeah, they trained it. I mean, look, their form isn't awesome. They're not scientific, but look at this guy's got 6 fucking plates on the bar. Like, they're not fucking around.
No, that's good. Oh, that's awesome.
Like, I don't
see young guys like that anymore.
Look at this guy's hammer curling fucking 60s. He looks like he's 20 years old.
Yeah.
Like, so, you know, it's funny because you mentioned about just having fun again, right?
Yeah.
We started doing that diet process. I'm like, fuck it. I walked into the gym and I'm like, I do this movement. I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to pick the hardest thing that I used to enjoy doing. And then after that, I'm going to pick the next hardest thing. And then after that, I'll pick the next hardest thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rather than be like, well, my lats, I need to do this machine here and really squeeze. I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to lift heavy and hard. That's what I know and love.
Not enough young guys do that anymore.
No. Oh, they've put on some size since then. How long ago was that?
This is 11 weeks.
Oh, that was an old.
Look at this kid.
4.5.
4.5 plates, man.
Nice.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, okay, so I'll put it to you this way. There's a bunch of guys in the gym that are 20 that are like, they got a logbook and they've read every scientific book. And they're like, they've watched every podcast on how to be perfect.
Yeah.
And these guys are going to be 10 times better because they're just training.
Yeah.
They're just having a good fun.
You know, I see that all the time as well in the gym. Like, now you get kids that come in the gym and they got like all the books and everything else, and with every set they write it down. I'm like, I don't know anything about it. But I'm like, I swear to God, when I first started, I was just like, you know what, just get me under the bar, let's just get going. I don't know about this, like, you know, keeping track of, okay, how much did I lift today compared to, I'm like, dude, just train. Like, just go bust all for it. So you do get a lot more people doing that now.
You know what I think? You know what I think people forget is there's a natural progression that you're going to learn anyway. Like, you kind of like learn through experience. When you get in the gym, like think about the stuff you did when you're 20. Then think about the stuff you did when you're 25, and then think about the stuff when you're 30. You learn anyway. You learn, even if you never read a book. You're going to learn through those 10 years what worked for you, what didn't.
Yeah.
So like, there's no need to overcomplicate the shit. Just go in the fucking gym. And I'm not saying you shouldn't learn science, but I guess all I'm trying to say is don't overcomplicate it to the point where you've removed the fun from the experience. And that's what I see. That's what I see. I get DMs from people that they're making things so complicated. Like, what if what if I turned my wrist like this? Instead of like, I'm like,
do you think that's and you probably answer this better than I will, but it's just something I've observed. It's a newer thing that's tied in with social media because they see the final outcome first before deciding that's what I want to do. They're like, okay, this guy's benching this guy's doing that. This guy's, rather than walking into a gym and being like, this makes sense to me. I would just want to get big and strong first. Yeah. That's why I would think I just want to get strong. I want to get strong as hell, and then I want to get big with it. I want to be big and fucking brutal in the gym.
You know what I think?
And then that evolved into competitive bodybuilding, right?
You know what I think a lot of it is, Ben, because of social media, is I think people don't want to be made fun of. So like, if you do, this is what I see. Somebody will do an exercise and inevitably in the comment section, like, oh, your form sucks, or you're going too fast, or you're swinging the weight, or you're like, and I'm like, okay, but if that guy's fucking massive, why does he care if it doesn't look like a textbook? And I think what I like about these kids, because I've seen a couple of their comment sections, they don't give a fuck. They're like, we're not optimal. Awesome. We're not optimal. But kids benching 4.5 fucking plates. So who gives a fuck if it's optimal, right? Like it's gonna do something.
Optimal for who? Optimal for who though as well? By their standards. Not optimal by my standards. Well, fuck your standards. My standards are my own. I'll do what I want to do.
But I mean,
there's some of that.
But look, just optimal for gaining muscle. When you look at these kids, are they putting on muscle? Of course they are.
Yeah.
They look like they're 20 years old and they're jacked as fuck.
I mean, that's. I'm not going to sit here and just completely kiss their asses because if they're that young and they're obviously running some decent cycles here, which I wouldn't mind betting is probably an overkill.
I'm not kissing their ass. What I'm saying is the element. What I am kissing ass about is the element of we are training for fun and we don't give a fuck. That is what I don't see anymore.
Don't you kind of miss that too? You know, that you don't have responsibilities at this point in your life. You just go to the gym. That's your most important thing in your day.
Maybe that's why I like him so much.
Yeah.
I miss being like that.
I wasn't worried about my blood pressure back then.
No, not at 22 or whatever they are, you know.
If I got a nosebleed when training, it meant I lifted heavy enough, you know.
I don't know, man.
That's old school bodybuilding.
When I started bodybuilding, I started because I thought it was fun and it was cool and it was a mental break from life.
Yeah.
And I think people just make it too complicated. So I'm like, if you're making it so complicated, how are you having fun?
Yeah.
But so this is another thing I had to do, and you've seen how, I don't know whether this is because I have my isolation and you can speak to this because your gym is closed off.
Yeah.
But I fucking started to hate going into the gym, especially because I can't be what I used to be. So I was like, this is bullshit. Now I don't take my phone into the gym. Like, I know it sounds silly and rudimentary, but I would always keep an eye on things. I'm like, now I go out in the gym, everything is off. I have my headphones in my ears and I just go back to where I used to be.
Oh, I've never ever. There's a handful of workouts in 20 years I can remember where my phone distracted me.
Yeah.
And that's because I was probably overtraining and I was trying to find something to occupy myself.
Yeah. But you're an old school, that's what I mean. It should be that way.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think that is that way anymore for a lot of people.
No,
when me and Paul are training, the music is so loud we can barely talk. We can barely talk. And if I'm grabbing my phone, it's just to change the music.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Well, And you can see like when you like we don't train as heavy as we used to, Fouad, but when we get into our workouts, you know, like we get focused, we do you know, we get into a flow. I see other people train, they do a set, then they sit there for 5 minutes, stare out into the space, you know, maybe go on their phone, you know, write in their logbook, and then, you know, another half-ass set with no passion, no, you know, it's just going through motions.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a way of blocking out the world, isn't it? It's like, you know, throughout the whole day, you're constantly now looking on social media, watching something or talking something. That moment in the gym is supposed to be your time with yourself and no other distraction. Just that point to kind of give your brain and everything a rest and just do something that totally calls on your complete focus.
Yeah.
And, you know, I absolutely love that. That's what got me in training in the first place, because it's that one moment where it's all about nothing but this. Nothing else gets in the way but this. And you sort of almost leave the gym feeling really good because you had that moment of it. Yeah. So the minute you sort of drag that drama and that complication into the gym, you really do take away that fun part of it. You take away that from it.
You miss the you miss the therapeutic part of it, the mental brain. Yeah. You know, it's funny to touch on that. I'm Samson, I'm sure you get this all the time. And Ben, I'm sure you do too. And Paul, you probably don't, but it's okay.
What?
People ask you to train together all the time, right?
Oh, I get it all the
time. No, but what I was going to say is people probably ask us to train together all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times I shy away from it, but it's not because I'm trying to be rude. It's because that's, like Samson just said, that's my time.
My time.
I go there to, like, because when Paul's training with me, it's not like I'm training with another person. He knows my movements. He knows when my set is done. He knows when I need to push for reps. So I don't have to talk. So I'm still just in my own fucking head. But when a third person enters the workout, now I'm trying to instruct the person. I'm not in my normal flow. It's like a different it's a different thing, right? Unless the other person has the same mentality. Like if Ben jumped into a workout or Samson, you jumped into a workout, we can still maintain that
time,
same mindset,
same mindset, same rhythm, right?
Yeah. Like when you're gone, Fouad, whenever you're gone away, like I always get a few people ask me to train with them, which is cool. You know, I don't mind once in a while, but like, I don't want to train with someone they think that they're going to pick my brain to learn your secrets. Cause you know, like I just want to work out with you. Like, I don't want to, you know, you to pick my brain about your stuff.
You don't want to talk. You don't want to like, just want to, there's some unspoken rules that you pick up when you're training with somebody over a long period of time that, if somebody comes in from nowhere, they don't understand and they want to ask questions or they want to joke around or they want to shoot the shit, or I'm like, that's not what we do. That's why we sit there. We started drinking our pre-workout when we get to the gym.
Yeah.
So we'll sit there for like half an hour, 45 minutes and just talk. And then once we start, it's like, that's it.
Which is what we used to do on the treadmill when we used to go to commercial gyms.
Yeah, but now I just don't want to waste the calories.
I don't want to walk on the treadmill. we don't want to lose any muscle, so we don't do that anymore.
I don't want to burn away any glycogen that it could be used.
That's right.
The good thing is, you guys both, like even Ben, you guys both train in like private gyms, right? You don't really have that much. You know what I've noticed, especially this prep. I'm like, what do you do when people interrupt your workout to sort of say something or take a picture or ask you something? Even though you go headphones on, hoodie up, all that, and you try not to be rude, but at the same time, you're like, what do you say? Yeah. Because that's sort of happening a lot now, and I'm
well, it's only going to happen more and more.
Yeah, you're famous.
But it's making me now. Before I used to train, always train in the evening and stuff like that. But now I'm trying to pick the most quietest time of the day to go train, because I can't train when the gym is busy anymore, because you just can't. You sit. You know, the in between sets where you have that 1 minute. Okay, catch my breath, and they wait for that one moment.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
I'm like, this never happened so bad.
You have to come. You're gonna have to come do your Olympia prep here, mate.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm thinking about it. You know, I'm being serious. I'm thinking about it because now because like even this week it's been like that, and you know, especially when you're kind of like, you're tired, you're exhausted, you're moody, and you're feeling like, man, this prep is killing me. And you're in the gym, and that one moment in the gym, you feel like, okay, I can zone out and just go crazy and go nuts. And then you have one guy come and tap you in the shoulder. Hey, Sam, how's the prep going? Can I get a picture?
Yeah. That's the worst. Kind of like, that's the worst question in the world too. When you're prep.
Oh man, going? That is.
Yeah. You're gonna have to build a private gym or something, Sam. So you're only gonna get more famous.
No, I'll tell you.
Honestly, it's never happened before, but now it's happened more and more. And I'm like, because I normally have Mel in gym, so Mel obviously just tell them, look, not now. And she because Mel is always more blunt and rude, not rude, but more upfront than I am. Yeah. So she would just look, no, we're training, go away.
I was just gonna say you need a Paul. That's what Mel is.
Hey, that's what
interference.
Yeah, I do it with Luke. I'd be like, Luke, no, Luke's busy. Leave him afterwards.
People be too afraid of Fouad to come up to me while we're training, so they always stay away.
I used to have the most asshole look on my face you could possibly. Nobody would come near us.
Well, you're 300 pounds.
I have the same thing. I've practiced my asshole look for years, but now all of a sudden it's not working anymore.
It doesn't work.
My asshole look doesn't work anymore.
You don't even have. Show me your.
Practiced my asshole scary look for years.
Show me your asshole look.
Let's see it. Let's see it. Nah, you look too nice still. No. You look nice. I want to give you a hug.
I tell you, no.
I'm mastering this, and now it's like it doesn't even work anymore now. And I'm like, what the hell is going on?
You should fake a temper tantrum or something in the gym.
No,
and after that, no one will mess with you.
Paul, you can't. Samson's got it mixed up. The asshole look is not an angry look.
No.
Asshole look is just I'm a fucking asshole. Don't come near me. Like just
what's the asshole look like then?
It's kind of like
you got to get that. Right,
you got to get the like
those lines right here.
No, because then that's angry.
Oh, that's angry look.
You got to look on edge, not angry.
Yeah, it's more of like it just intense to the point where like if you come near me, I'm probably gonna bite your head off.
That's exactly. But dude, look, you're covered in sweat, you're puffing out, and you're literally going from one machine to the next.
Okay, can I give you? I'll give you one piece of advice. You got to make an example of somebody.
Punch him.
right. A public demonstration. Like, okay.
No,
everybody take notes. This is what happens when
you have to pay some. You have to pay some kid to take a verbal beat.
Take a fall.
No.
Pay some kid, have him come up to you at like 5 p.m. when it's the busiest, and just unleash. Like, what the fuck? And just like unleash on him, and then but make sure, and then everybody will see it. Nobody come near you again.
And then the parking lot, give him $20 or whatever.
I mean, look, I've in prep, I don't think I could control it. A lot of times people would do things that would bother me. I would say something, and then Paul would be behind me apologizing for me.
Yeah, but he's
but it's like I don't know, man. Listen, you're a professional fucking bodybuilder getting ready for the second biggest show on earth. People should understand that. Look, catch me.
I think most people that are regular in the gym, they do, but sometimes you always get the one or two that I'm noticing that it's happening a lot more frequently now than you ever did before. Because before I never used to have, I never even be something that even bothered me. Yeah. But now it's happening more and more frequently. And I'm thinking, wait, hold on. I thought I was always that guy that just looked like, okay, don't talk to him. He's not in the mood sort of guy. But now all of a sudden it's like that is kind of worn off now. And it's like, people get more bothered to do it.
Like, I think the more well-known you get, you're getting into the people that are on the fringe rather than the core bodybuilders. Oh, that's Samson over there. He's in prep for the Olympia. We know what the Olympia is. We'll leave him alone. Now, as you're becoming a bit more popular, you're spreading into this population of gym users who kind of keep an eye on the sport, but they don't really follow the competitions. They just know, he's a pro. He did the Olympia. So now you're on that spectrum, which is a blessing and a curse. Right?
Obviously, when you're telling people, because like this week, I had to tell a few people, like, look, do you mind if I just get back to training, please? Just not now.
That's
and
good.
You get that whole big dickhead vibe.
No. I don't think
you feel that way though.
No, you probably feel that way, but I don't think saying it that way is rude. If you say, "Look, do you mind if I just get back to training? I can talk to you maybe."
Yeah, but he had that face on him as well. The angry face, and then
I train angry. Some people train angry, and you have this angry face and this focused face. So when you say, no matter what you say with that face, it always looks a lot harsher than what it is.
So do that face with the. Can you come back and whatever?
Can you come back later? I'm busy right now. Can I do some training?
No, I still like you, Samson.
Listen, I think you know what I think part of the problem is too, Samson. I think the more popular you get, the more podcasts you do, when people know your actual personality is just a very nice person, that probably makes them.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, oh, he's doing the.
I need to go try with Branch. I need to go learn from Branch. I think nobody ever walk up to someone like Branch. I need to go start practicing with him.
No, but that's because Branch actually tells them to fuck off. Like Branch will actually say, "Get the fuck out of here! I'm working out." Like. Look, I don't. People. We shouldn't give people the wrong opinion. It's very, very flattering, but it's just very hard when you're eating. You're in a 500 calorie deficit or 1,000 calorie deficit. You're doing 2-hour cardio a day, and you're like, you're worn the fuck out. It's hard to be very pleasant.
Wait, but here's the problem with bodybuilding. You pick any sport you want. The NBA, NFL. Tom Brady's getting ready for a Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes is getting ready for a Super Bowl. You haven't got people like the play on Sunday league teams.
Yeah.
At the training pitch, being like, "Oh, hey, Tom Brady, how you feeling? Like, come here." And he's like, "Dude, I'm practicing. Fuck off. Like, I'm training. I'm literally."
Yeah.
Like, they get escorted off the premises and kicked out.
Yeah, I think. Listen, if there's one thing I could change about my career, people always ask, "Oh, what would you do different if you could start over?" And Samson, I don't know if this will help you at all in the coming years as you get more popular, but if I could change one thing about my career, it would have been to be a nicer person, even when I didn't feel like it. Yeah. Because what you don't like, what I guess not everybody, what I didn't understand at the time was these people just really care. Like they're really like, oh man, he's fucking great. I want to get it. So they don't understand what we're going through. No. And I never factored that in. So I wish I could have been a little bit.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think it's, before the training session when you're still walking into the gym, that's cool. After your training session, you're leaving the gym, that's cool. Yeah. It's in the middle of a workout.
Yeah.
That is always feels like that's the part that always is the part that, come on now, know better. Yeah. I think any other time it's like, you know what, suck it up. Come on, man, this is your job. People are excited to suck it up. So that's never a problem. It's only that one moment where you're really in the middle of a workout.
Well, the other thing too is, Samson, because I think you're a little bit like me when you train, is kind of once you start, it's almost like a burn through it until you're done.
You get like a rhythm.
Yeah, you get into a rhythm and you want to just go. So it's hard when you have to stop for 10 minutes to talk to somebody, because it's never really just a picture and they go. It's kind of like they want to talk for a minute. Yeah, you kind of cool down, and then you got to start over. It's like
and sometimes your mindset gets thrown off a little bit. You might be thinking about the conversation you just had now a little bit. You don't want to think about that,
It's distracting for sure.
Yeah, it's a distraction for sure.
Sorry guys.
Fouad on his phone is a distraction.
No, I'm texting James because I think you got the time wrong. What's going on, guys? This episode is brought to you by MarekHealth.com, and I want you to go there, use code RBP, and get a blood panel done. Get your blood work done 3 times a year if possible, but more importantly, get it done by professionals who know what they're looking at. Now, I recently went to Marek Health. They did a full panel review. After I was done, I had a half an hour panel with one of their professionals. He fully explained my blood work all the way through and what was right and what was wrong and how to fix it. Furthermore, they were actually able to get me set up with an appointment with one of their doctors and get me prescribed the medication I need prescribed. The benefit to this is big. I've been judged by a lot of doctors. I've had family doctors who've judged me for what I want to do in my life. And being a bodybuilder, it's always hard to talk to a regular doctor about what we do and what our goals are. But at Marek Health, there's no judgment. It's completely objective, and they will help you achieve your goals while staying healthy. Get to Marek Health, use code RBP, save some money, but more importantly, get healthy and get a professional to help you out with what you're doing. Okay. Anyway, let's do some questions.
Sure.
Is that what we want to do? Or are we going to... Actually, you know what I want to do before we go to questions? Okay. Let's do this again. Okay. What we didn't talk about was these guys. Sean posted... Clarita posted a recent video where he looked fucking nuts. Patrick Moore looks a little bigger. Justin Rodriguez posted some back shots that look fucking crazy. Rami looks like he's making a somewhat of a comeback from his Olympia debacle. And then Akeem looked a little sharper. Kamal always looks good, so that's fine. And Akeem looked a little sharper in the last shots I saw. So are any of these guys going to make a dent, or is it just too much? Well, not Rami. Rami for sure is going to be in the top 5, or should be anyway. Are any of these other guys like Justin Rodriguez, Patrick Moore, Akeem Williams, are they going to sneak into that top 5? Anybody?
My opinion, I think Akeem's got the best chance to out of that group.
Yeah.
Depending on, his sharpness when he comes in.
What about also Bonak shared a recent photo that looked pretty good.
His back?
Yeah.
That's the one I saw.
Yeah, his back shot. I don't know if it looked as hard as I would have expected it to 10 days out, but I also don't know when it was from.
Yeah.
So, but I'll share it here. This is Bonak from the back. I mean, looks pretty awesome, I guess.
Yeah.
But his back is always the strong side, right? It's more like, what does the waist look like at this point?
Yep. That's been his biggest problem his last couple of shows, I think. His waist.
Ben,
Jeez.
Ben, if Bonac is as sharp as last Arnold, does he crack into the top 5, or is the competition just gotten
Well,
a lot better?
Boston was a better look, right?
Yeah, I thought he looked great at the Arnold. I mean, I know there's a little bit of gyno, but I thought he looked fucking awesome at the Arnold.
I think I'd have him and Sean pushing. I think the thing with Sean is probably one of the most consistent competitors I've seen in modern bodybuilding. So you know what you're going to get with him, and that's where the front four are going to have their work cut out, because if they're off, that's where Sean can expose them. Bonac, I feel like if he's on, is in that similar realm where if one of the big boys like Andrew, Samson, Nick, Ramy is off, that's where they can take advantage. But I think one of those has to be off for him to push in.
So you think if Bonac is on, Andrew's on, Samson's on, Nick is on, Ramy's on, you think Bonac...
He's at the back of the queue. He's at the back of that queue. If they're all on, he's at the back.
I think so, right?
Yeah.
Andrew was 8th at the Olympia. Bonac was 9th. Both of them were not at their best. So stands to reason if they both move
I
up.
think it's that, well, everyone we've just said was in front of him.
Yeah, no, I know.
And I think it stays that way. I think Samson stays in front, Nick does, Andrew does.
I'm trying to remember how off he was at the Olympia and if how much ground he can make up between the Olympia and Arnold. Like if he's way sharper, does he pull ahead of 3 of those guys? Like, or is everybody just going to be sharper and then it's going to...
Yeah, so I mean, we know Samson is sharper. I've got a pretty good reason to believe that Andrew is sharper and harder. Nick is Nick.
Nick is always going to be sharp, yeah.
Yeah, Nick and Sean are very consistent, so I've got no doubts in how they're going to look. And then Ramy seems to be better than he was, so I don't think he can beat Ramy.
I think Nick's going to be better than the Olympia. Some of the photos that are coming out with Nick just look very, very crisp. His chest looks very crisp. His skin looks very thin.
Yeah.
I think he knows. I think he knows he's close to the very top, but I also think he knows there's some guys nipping at his heels.
This is what I mean. Like, where does Nick? How much room has Nick got in his physique to improve versus, say, someone like Andrew, Samson?
No, we can, but we can talk about potential. Let's just talk about.
But I think Nick can only, at this point in this short period of time from that Olympia to this, just bring a bit of a harder physique.
Yeah, he's not going to get bigger in that time. I see what you're saying. Yeah, he's not going to get bigger in 6 weeks. Most likely.
If it's better, it's just harder, in my opinion, right?
Yeah, but a harder Nick is very impressive because he was already fucking hard at the Olympia.
Yeah, but then again, if you say a hard Samson, a hard Andrew, and a hard Nick all in a lineup, and they're all in shape, now that's where
that's tough. It's not a definite like. Samson, I'm sorry, we're talking about you like you're not here, but it's not like a definite like. Nick is very, very impressive, especially when he's very because I think I could be wrong about this, but I almost feel like last year's Arnold, he was sharper than this year's Olympia. He was bigger at this year's Olympia, but I think I remember his skin being thinner and drier at last year's Arnold, and I feel like he's getting back to that look.
But that's the Arnold was the second show that year, I believe.
Yeah, I know.
He did New York and then the Arnold. So like Samson was saying earlier, and I believe this to be true too, the second and third shows are normally where you really bring out that hard condition. And Nick's condition off of one show is normally solid. So as he's getting into the second and if he does a third, then that's when he gets really hard.
That's what I'm saying. So this is his second show. So it only stands to reason that his skin is going to be thinner, he's going to be crisper, and he's still got the added size.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. That's what's interesting. If Samson is in shape and harder, and Andrew's in shape and harder, and they do have better structure now, because Nick's ahead because he's so much harder and conditioned, right?
Not only.
Say then Samson. Just compare the two of them. Sorry, Samson. Just for this Olympia, I would say that it was just a condition-ish difference.
Not only. The back shots, Nick owns them. The side shots are Nick is also tough to beat. The front shots I would give to Samson.
Okay, but if Samson is in shape, are you still going to give him the back and side shots?
Potentially, Nick's got a ton of fucking muscle.
The side leg's crazy, and the arm is massive.
This is the thing. If Samson can match Nick's conditioning,
yeah,
Samson or Nick will have more muscle, but Samson has much prettier shape, so that might outweigh the muscularity.
Mm-hmm.
But the key is Samson has to be in the same shape. Because just think of it as a three-pronged thing, right? You have conditioning, shape, and muscularity. If they're both equal condition, then Nick has a little bit more muscularity, Samson has better shape. So then the judges are going to decide which one is more important.
You saying more muscularity?
Sorry?
I'm interested to see whether Nick does have more muscularity with a conditioned Samson. Because I'm not sure. That last video that Samson put up, the back, the hamstrings, the thickness, the amount of muscle he has on him. Sorry, you're not here, but we're
still talking about you like you're not here, Samson.
But I mean, that's the intriguing. That's the fun part for us. We get to just sit by and pick the bones on it. But
Paul, what do you think? You're being very quiet.
I don't know that Nick is bigger than Samson anymore. I think Samson's as big as Nick now.
No, you're saying big is the wrong word. Samson's structurally Samson structurally is probably the biggest guy on stage, if not like him and Rami maybe together.
But just talking mass?
I'm talking actual muscularity, like tissue.
I think
as far as the proportions of the muscle.
Yeah, I think Nick has a bit more detail and muscularity in certain areas still, particularly the hamstrings and back. Yeah. But hamstrings, Samson's hamstrings at Olympia were crazy. His upper hamstrings, like that's debatable to me. But I personally, Nick, I think Nick might come in actually looking a little bit smaller at this show than he did the Olympia because he's been so hard for so long now. I'm starting to wonder if it's going to fade a little.
I think the only place we disagree is this. You guys think Samson's going to win. I think Samson's going to win. I just think he's going to win based on shape, not muscularity.
I think that'll be Samson's strongest advantage.
His strong suit since day one has been his shape, and now he's added the muscle to accentuate that shape.
Right.
But I don't think he's added more muscle than Nick, but his shape is so good that the muscularity that he has added is going to look that much more impressive. Mm-hmm. So all I'm saying is if we all think he's going to win, to me, it's going to be based on the condition has to be there. And if it is, then the shape is what's going to carry him over the fucking line.
Yes, I agree.
That's kind of where
I think probably overcomplicating this. I think condition is Nick's strong suit, and Samson can never truly match Nick's condition.
I don't know if I agree with that.
No, I think Samson can be as conditioned as he can be. I think he can be a lot more conditioned, but like Branch Warren had a certain look conditioned.
You mean the graininess? Yeah.
Okay. So Samson will never match up with that, and it's the same thing with shape. Samson's shape, Nick could never achieve. Right. So it's about which one can get closest in their weak criteria. To the other, and that's where the battle comes in.
Yeah, it's like how big the margins are for each other's strong points, over the other. And I think, personally, I think shape, with all the other things being equal, like we said, maybe conditioning a couple % different, but I think shape will carry through.
Yeah. I mean, also, but we have to consider that argument. That also means if Andrew is conditioned, then we also have to factor in his shape.
Yeah,
that's why I said 1.
I know that's why you have. Yeah, that's why you have Samson and Andrew 1 and 2.
I think I had Samson,
but it could easily be any order of those three, I believe. But I think it is those three.
Are we overlooking Sean? Like is Sean being overlooked just because he's short?
To be honest, it's going to be a factor, I think, because the last Sean next to Samson on stage.
He's 100% being overlooked because of his overall size.
Yeah, but we're supposed to be
judging physiques.
I get it, but we're supposed to be experts, for lack of a better word.
It's not even that. You're judging a physique, but you're comparing a physique. What are you going to show is the one I'm comparing who you stood next to.
Mm-hmm. I know that, Ben, but bodybuilding shows are not based on structural size; they're based on muscularity. So just because somebody is shorter, it doesn't necessarily mean they're not equally as valuable.
I agree.
Well, I think otherwise they wouldn't have a 212 class then.
No. Hear me out for a second. If we're talking about structural size, Samson's bigger than fucking Hottie, but Hottie packs on enough muscle that he was able to overcome the structural size. So what I'm saying is Sean is so compact and so full of muscle, but also so proportionate that is he being overlooked just because he's short?
Well, yeah, because some things you can't bridge.
So you think
like if Hottie is 240 and packed out for the muscle, and Sean is 195 and packed out for the muscle, you're still going to have a big discrepancy when you're on that stage. Look, I love his physique. I think he's one of the current best bodybuilders of the last 5 to 6 years. The consistency on him is unreal.
Paul, you're a judge. Paul, can I ask you a question? You're a judge.
Yeah.
When you see that,
yep.
Because I would compare Sean's shape to Samson's. They flow very nice, especially from the back.
Mm-hmm.
They flow very nicely. So if you see that stand next to Samson, for example, or that stand next to Nick, or next to Rami or Andrew, does that get lost just because he's short, or are you actually able to make the comparison properly?
I think you can make the comparison fairly still. I think and Sean may very well win that particular pose. But in other poses, I think the structure will complement the physique to a greater extent.
I'm not really asking about like any particular pose. I'm just asking, like, is it possible to give him a fair shake being so much smaller than everybody else structurally?
Yes, because I think if you put Sean in a lesser lineup than this, I shouldn't say that lesser lineup, but not as
no, that's fair.
I mean,
you can say lesser lineup.
Okay.
He did that in Reno where he won. He was against
Regan and Sergio.
Bodybuilders, but not top 6
he'll
guys.
beat 99% of open guys, but this is the top echelon, and I think the structure is going to play a part in it, unfortunately, for Sean.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how Sean looks next to everybody else. I want to look, and I want to see. I want to give him a fair look and say, look, if we eliminate the height factor, does Sean beat Rami? Does Sean beat Andrew? Guys that are like
he's going to expose a lot of those boys in certain areas, like how hard he gets.
Yeah.
The conditioning he has,
and he's complete. There's no weak points on that physique at all.
For me, the most impressive part of Sean is the proportions. When you look at that quad sweep, and yes, of course, it's going to be, I don't want to say easier, but it's going to be rounder because he's shorter, and so it's going to look different than somebody who's taller like Andrew. But when you see this, you're like, it's not the conditioning, it's the proportions of the muscle are crazy.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, I just wonder if it's human nature, right? Is it possible to give a guy that's so much smaller structurally a really fair look?
I think you're right.
Against the guy Samson's height or Rami's height or Andrew's height, or even somebody as thick as Nick is, right? So I don't know. It's gonna be really fucking cool to see. I'm glad he's doing it. I wanna see what that looks like.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Remember last year when Kamal did open show in Florida, I think it was, against Keem?
Yeah.
And we were looking forward to seeing that too. Like I going into it, I thought Kamal was going to win based on his consistency. He's been over the years and being so complete. And when we were at the show, Fouad, I think we both agreed that we thought Kamal should win. We wouldn't have the best seats in the house or anything like that, but from where we could see. But I don't know, like it's tough when you're going against a guy that much bigger than you.
Well, remember we decided that based mostly on Kamal's conditioning.
Yes, you're right.
So they decided that muscle was more important than condition at that show.
Yeah. And that's not as fair of a comparison as Sean versus, say, Samson. They're different physiques altogether, but Samson and Sean have a similar look. But I think you take similar looks and then on a bigger frame.
Yeah,
it's hard to go.
James,
me, Jesus Christ, mate! I'm so time different. I didn't even know Texas had a time difference than you. I was like, I was at the gym. I was like, yeah, I'll be home by 1, and then I went to leave the gym at 12:45, and I got pulled over to do some fucking thing with some clothes.
Are you?
And then I was just like,
I thought you were in Florida right now.
No, I'm in Texas, back in Texas again.
Oh,
that's my bad. I'm just like, yeah. So I was like, shit, because I didn't really look at my phone when I was training, and I felt really bad because I was like, I got to catch up with the boys.
What are you? Why you're traveling all over the world? What's going on?
I'm just trying to make my millions, bro. No, honestly, I'm just back here because we're going to go to the Arnold with with Michael and a couple of the guys.
Michael.
Johansson, yeah.
Oh, okay. You're going with Gas.
Yeah. Yes. Going to tag along. I might as well while I'm here. I wasn't going to originally, and then I said I'm coming out, and I was like, I might as well if I'm in the area.
Are you going on their tour bus, or are you following behind?
I'm doing a tour bus, bro.
You are.
I'm doing the tour bus. But I don't know what we're driving. I don't know if it's like the proper bus or if it's the little one.
No, it's probably the big van bus, like the Sprinter van.
Why are you not doing it? Why are you and Ben not coming with me? What's going on here?
Well,
I'm there on Tuesday.
I'm never invited to anything from Gas.
Dude, I wasn't invited. I made myself invited. I turned up in Texas and just walked in the office. I promise.
No, I'm driving in. Me and Paul are driving in on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're only a 3-hour drive. How far is the drive from Texas? You don't even know.
How long is the drive?
It's like 11 hours or some shit.
Oh, probably at least.
Yeah, it's a lot. So it's like 15 hours.
No, because I remember when I drove from Indiana to see Ben last summer, it took me 17 hours. And Columbus and Indiana are not that far apart. So I'm assuming it's like 15.
Yeah, I think it's 15.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry I'm late. Really, really late. I know you guys are probably coming to the end of all your nice discussions today. Yeah. But I just wanted to at least show my face because I felt awful. I was like, the boys have like invited me on today. I need to come and make sure I'm present. And
Where have you been? Where have you been and when did you leave? You left from the UK when?
When did we leave from the UK, Yannicka? No, when did we leave from the UK? 4th of February.
Paul, I just realized you look like you're in jail.
It's because my neck is bothering me, so I'm trying to keep my head back.
No, I just mean the gray back.
Oh, I'm in my kitchen.
The way you're sitting, plus the gray background. Anyway, I'm sorry. You left at when?
February the 4th, and then I'm back on the 6th.
So you're gone for a whole month, and you went to Texas, and you went to Florida, and you're back to Texas, and you're going to the Arnold's.
Yes, just trying to be busy, man.
Why are you're leaving? You haven't seen any of your friends.
I know. I feel awful. I haven't seen any of my friends.
You should.
You're meant to come here Monday. You're supposed to come here Monday.
I'm trying to sort out seeing Ben as well. Trying to squeeze in that. So trying to make sure I see everybody.
Do you hear that, Ben? He's got to squeeze you in.
Squeeze him into the touch.
When do you get to Columbus?
Tuesday. Do we get to Columbus? No, Wednesday. Sorry, Thursday. Thursday to get to Columbus. Thursday.
And you're leaving Sunday.
And leaving Sunday. Yeah, from Columbus straight home.
You're gonna miss our dinner.
I know. I'm fucking pissed. I'm really upset. When you messaged, said, "Do you fancy it?" I was like, "Yes." And then I looked at when we're leaving, and I was like, "Fuck, we're leaving before dinner." We know what dinner leads to when we're together.
Yeah.
Fly on Monday morning.
Ben's like, "Fly on Monday morning."
You should just switch it one day, and you'll be hungover, and you can sleep on the plane.
Yeah, that'd be perfect because then you arrive home and just the hangover wears off, and you're back in sunny England again.
And you're ready to start.
Yeah.
What's going on? How's your trip been? What have you done that's exciting?
Quite a lot of things, really. It's been quite exciting. Yes, please. Honestly, it's just really training. I've just been training at Destination and filming a little bit of Nick Del Toro. You know Nick, he's cool. So just being present, man. Just trying to make myself useful.
I thought we were doing a Harley Davidson tour this year.
We need to. The year's not over yet, mate.
You're not gonna do it. You're full of shit,
dude. I'm basically absent from England all year now. I'm signed up for the whole year.
So you're going back on the Sunday after the Arnold. When are you coming back to North America?
When we start the bike ride.
All right, June 1st.
June 1st, yeah. June 1st, I'm back out here doing the bike ride, yeah.
June 1st, we ride from Chicago to California.
Chicago to California.
It's just Route 66. We'll just take one highway all the way through.
Who's in? Who signed up?
Me, you, and Ben.
Oh, Ben's definitely on because it involves motorbikes.
And Paul's gonna be the sidecar.
No, I'll drive the Riker.
I want to go in the sidecar.
Me and James will be just like
yeah. Can I go Ben's sidecar and then Paul can go in your sidecar?
Yeah.
That'd be perfect. I can picture that. Samson, you gonna get a bike and join us?
Oh, I can't ride a bike, man.
You can ride.
I can go to call.
You can ride. You can ride the Riker, the 3-wheeler.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
I didn't say that either.
You guys are
I love that. Very like.
I
once
need
it's
to.
organized now.
I
now.
have to run. I've got a few things I need to clear, but if I can do it, I will.
You guys are all full of shit. You know, I come up with these like awesome plans.
I've got
Nobody will
a
come.
family and kids,
You
right?
got a wife. You got a wife who could take care of her.
I am not.
Yeah, and if my wife gives me the green light, then I'll be there.
It's only a week. She'll be fine.
A week.
Well, it's gonna take a while to ride from Chicago to.
Paul's there like a week is like you're asking for a lot for a week.
Yeah.
Nah, man, you can do it.
From your wife and kids, a week is a long time.
Paul, what's your excuse?
I got a job and I got a wife and kids.
Your job. I've seen your job. You take time off whenever you want.
Well, I know I take too much time off, but I got to stop doing that so much.
Think about the adventure.
The
I would
adventure
be
is
all
all
up
that
for the
matters.
adventure. If I plan it properly, I can do it. I just got to make sure I plan it properly.
Oh, you got a few months to plan it then.
Yeah, June 1st.
When you looking at?
I'll go and talk to Denise, but it's going to be a hard sell. I'm telling you.
When are you looking for? When are you talking about?
Let me ask Denise. I'll ask her.
I'll save it for the Arnold. Then you can
I
ask
love
her
that. Leave it to me. I can be very persuasive.
All right, wait a second. So Samson, if for those people who don't know, I know it's old news, but I don't know if we've talked about it on the podcast. Samson got the invite to guest pose at the Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh show, the Jim Mannion show, the illustrious show that everybody at the top guest poses at. So Samson got the invite this year to do that.
That is really cool.
Congratulations.
Mhm,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
That's when you're in. You're in.
Yes.
Wow.
You'll be getting those hands. You know.
Are you going to that then? Fouad? I'm going to go.
The side shake.
You're gonna concur.
So this is the problem. I wanted to go to watch, and then I was going to come back with Samson after, but I can't because that day is me and Paul's show, our show,
Yeah,
the
but
Fouad
that's
Abiad
Samson.
Championships.
That Samson guest posed last year.
Oh, is it the 13th? Because I was going to go to the Pittsburgh.
I know you were. That's why I asked you that yesterday. So Samson was supposed to come to our show and guest pose, and then he said, "Fuck you, Fouad." Jim Mannion asked me.
Oh, so maybe I'll go to Pittsburgh and then I can come with Samson to.
That's
Canada.
what I said. You guys can both come to Canada on the 14th, and we can do some content here at the Hosstile gym, and then we can get on our motorcycles and ride to California.
And link up with James.
It's all set. It's all set up.
It's all done.
It's all set up.
So I tell Denise I need 6 weeks vacation.
No. It's like 2 max. It's like 2 weeks max. You deserve it, Ben. You work really hard. I'll talk to her. Don't worry. I'll sort it out for you. Ben, James, you need me to talk to Yannicka, or you got it? You got it all figured out?
I need to talk to Tony for it.
Let's do what I want to do.
Well, James doesn't have kids, so he can fuck off.
I do have a cat.
How has been traveling? So she can't hear me right now, so I can ask you this.
You can do whatever you want. It's fine.
Just answer yes or no, so that she doesn't know what we're talking about.
Okay, we'll be in code.
Has been traveling with her by yourself been annoying?
No, actually not.
Okay.
Actually, surprisingly not.
That was quick.
Surprisingly, I won't lie. Like it's actually been. I'm more chill now here, in the presence of.
Was there any
person?
Was there any?
Yeah. You guys live
Then
together?
I am at home.
Was there?
Yeah,
any
I've had a house. Me and Yannick have had a house 6 years together.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. At home, I think England is so confined that you do get very uptight. So when you're here and there's a lot of space, it doesn't feel like that.
No, Paul, I know they live together, but I also know that James is likes his space, likes his own.
I do too.
No, but James is different than you. He likes his space. Like
Really?
Yeah.
James a man.
James will buy another house for her.
It's been surprisingly relaxed.
So there was never a point, any time in the last month where you've been like, "Fuck, I should have came by myself."
Oh, of course, I do that all the time. I always feel like that. That happens. But you know what? She's very clever. Yeah, she's very clever because what she does, because I ask her to like manage. Yeah, so she'll book things. So for example, like our car, she'll book in her name. So then I'm screwed because I'm not on the. My name's not down to drive.
You can't go anywhere by yourself.
See, then
yeah,
it's a control. That's a control tactic, mate. They keep themselves valuable. Denise does it all the time.
Yeah, they're just smart with what they do. So like, it's like, okay, well, you do need me because I'm going to be the person that gets you around everywhere. So I'm like, true.
See,
so I better be on best behavior.
I book all my own shit. You guys need to learn.
That's what no, I've started doing it. Then he's like, "Oh, I've done all that for you." I'm like, "Nah, fuck that. I'm doing my own stuff." No.
I agree, Ben. I agree.
Samson, you're the opposite, right? You can go with Mel and do anything for as long as
Hey, she wants me out of the house most of the time, man. She wants me to get even now. She's already talking about, okay, what the hell? Where are you going on in thinking? Just go somewhere.
Yeah,
like just she wants me
plan something. Get out of here.
Yeah,
it's funny how we're all like that. Ben, are you more attached or more space?
I'm a complete loner. I love being on my own, but since I've had a kid and family now, I'm like, being away is hard.
Yeah.
So it's more for the kid than it is for Denise.
Don't say that. Just straight cut there. Who's it more for, Ben?
No,
give me one answer. One answer.
Well, no. To a certain degree, and that's not a slant on anyone. It's because a week away, you miss a lot of Phoenix's development. Like all of a sudden, he can do way more, and you're like, "What the fuck just happened?" Whereas Denise is still going to be. She might have got a bit older, but I'm not going to notice those wrinkles.
Developed.
Those wrinkles will take another year or two, but Phoenix is quick, so that's why.
I hear that.
Where did you go, Paul?
I had to go to the bathroom. I had to move rooms. I had to change rooms. Kids will be home soon.
Kitchen wasn't cutting it.
No, the kids will be home soon. It'll be loud.
So what's going on, James? What's new, man? Oh, you know what I got to do while you're here?
What you got to
do? You haven't been on in a little while.
I've been a while. I've been on a bit of a move around.
Oh, it's been that long.
That's how long it's been. There you go.
All right, James. Arnold Classic predictions.
I'm gonna throw I'm gonna go like.
Brad, make your B column smaller.
There.
Okay, all right. I'm just having a look at who's gone for what. Of course, Jose went for Clarida. He's a 212 guy. He's just supporting his own people. I hear that. What they do. Seeing how many. So looking like it's a bit of a battle between Samson and Nick currently, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
As far, I mean, look.
I feel like I honestly feel like it is a 4-man battle.
Honestly, I think Rami is going to be a lot better than the Olympia. And I think Andrew is going to be better than Olympia. So
I think Andrew's going to be better than Olympia. No, he's my dark horse.
But so is Nick and Samson. So it's tough.
Yeah. I think Andrew's going to be. I think Andrew had quite a lot of room to improve, and I always say that I'm a fan of Andrew's physique because I am. I'm not going to bullshit. I think he has the most room for improvement in that time frame because I think he wasn't as good as he could have been. I think Samson's improved a lot, and I think Nick was close to his best. So, but Nick's consistent as fuck. Like he doesn't ever mess up. So it's honestly, like I say, I feel like such a 4-man battle because I'll put Sean in there as well. And I think those 4 gentlemen are literally scratching each other depending on what they want on the day. Because it could be a case of, are they going to go for a physique like Nick's, which is, granite hard, very separated, maybe not the most aesthetic. But then you have guys like Samson and Andrew who carry much more what you'd say is aesthetics. Probably won't be as dug out as Nick's going to be. But the trade-off is it going to get the championship? Is it going to give you the title? And then Sean's kind of the same as Nick, just gnarly hard. I wouldn't say the most aesthetic. So it's almost like Nick and Sean are a little bit different than Andrew and Samson, and it's going to come down to what do they want. And I find it really difficult, and I normally don't find it that difficult.
You're leaving out Rami. And
I don't think Rami's. I think he'd have to do something extremely incredible to push him up. I don't think Rami was in bad shape at the Olympia, like actual condition. I think a lot of what was going on with him is structural, and structural things I don't feel can be fixed in a time frame. Whereas, like I said, with Andrew was just not in his best condition, but has the structure. Yeah. So if he comes back a lot harder, it will carry him very far. And Samson's the same. Samson, already has surpassed condition from the Olympia. So whatever that condition is that you bring is going to take you forward as well. Whereas Nick and Sean were already pretty much their best at the Olympia, but like I say, they're very consistent. But that's why I'm finding it really difficult because it's the first show in a long time I've actually got there's a lot of variables.
Well, this isn't, it's kind of like the Olympia, to be honest with you. It was very hard to predict the Olympia. It's kind of the same here.
But the Olympia's given us a little bit of information going into this, if you know what I mean. Like, I feel like the Olympia's given me a little bit more faith in the potential of Samson and Andrew, because they did well at Olympia, despite still, I don't think, being their best.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
But I'm also, but I mean it. I mean, it's like the Olympia in the sense that I think there are 5 guys that could be shuffled in any number of ways. I don't
see Ramy winning it, because I just think what's happened to his physique right now, I do think it could be repairable, but I don't think it could be repairable in that time frame. And that's not me having anything against Ramy. I think he's fantastic. I just think this is a very short window. And when you're in a calorie deficit and you're trying to bring up muscle groups that are starting to atrophy or nerve damage, whatever you want to call it, you need time away from being in a deficit to be able to rectify those issues, from my understanding. And I don't think he's had that time.
All right. So you've explained your strategy.
Now I've got to actually fucking pick names. I'm going to go. I'm going to go. Let me work from 4th up first. I think 4th will be Clarida, just because I think even though he is incredible, I do still think size of a person matters.
Okay.
So I'm going to Clarida in 4th. I'm going to go 3rd. I want you to win, Samson, but I'm going to put you in 3rd for a minute, bro, because I think you're moving up, and I think you're incredible. I think Andrew in 2nd, maybe. This is very interchangeable, because Samson, I think you can take Andrew if he hasn't improved. 100%. Like if Andrew comes in the same as the Olympia, you do the same again. I need to see the improvements between you two.
Well, if Andrew hasn't improved, then he's for sure going to beat him, because he already beat him at the Olympia.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
Andrew has to improve more than Samson's improved to jump ahead.
Absolutely. Yeah. I do say this about Andrew's structure, though. I think if Andrew is as hard as nails, I feel like he's one. I've said this before, and this is not me taking it from anyone. I think he has a one-of-a-kind structure.
He's very
I think that structure, if it's nails hard, is jaw dropping, and I do think that he could. I think he could potentially beat Nick if he was in really good shape. I'm not saying Samson could either.
Listen, I said that a few podcasts ago. I asked, it was me. I think it was Mike, Ian, and somebody else. I said, if Andrew is absolutely peeled, like Nick peeled,
yeah,
can he win the show? And they thought that it wouldn't be possible yet. He's still not filled out some of the areas he needs to fill out.
Yeah.
I think, Paul, you might have been on that podcast.
Yeah, and I agree.
They thought he was still a little too tall, need to fill out a few more areas to be able to pull ahead of. And I think
Samson's more developed.
Yeah, I think Samson's
more complete.
I think Samson has more fresh, plush, full muscle than Andrew. Andrew's more angular.
Yes.
Not as round.
Yes.
Again, I'm.
It's okay. I don't want to change your opinion.
No. I'm just thinking of, like, when I look on stage. Yeah, when I am in the audience and I see someone of the stature of Andrew, like how it takes me. I'm going to put Andrew in first, just because I want to give him that support, because I think he's potentially a winner. Yeah.
Okay. Who's 5th?
So 5th, Ramy. No, Bonac.
Wow, you really don't have any faith in Ramy.
I think he's a top 6 still, but I don't know if he can beat a good Bonac. And then 7th, Akim, if he's on. Then Kamal. Then Justin. And then Patrick. And again, even down to 10th, I think they all have amazing physiques. Like,
I disagree with all of your picks.
Good. That's what it should be. That's what it should be. And again, and let me say this as well. It's not that I don't think that any one of those top 4 cannot win the show. I think all the top 4 that I've mentioned can win the show.
Yeah, I think I
think Samson, I think you can turn up on the day, and I think you can win the show. I'm just speaking from gut.
Can I say something? I'll say something, James. I think we all think that. But the reason what I'm basing it on is this. If you look at the Olympia, the order was Nick, Ramy, Samson, Andrew, Bonac. That was the order from the guys that are in the show now.
Yeah.
Right. So you've put Rami behind all of them except for Nick, and he was second out of those 5 at the Olympia. So that means that Samson, Andrew, and Bonac all have to be dramatically better to jump past Rami.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think they will be. I think they will be.
Yeah.
I think Andrew will have his shit together because he's got Chris helping him.
That definitely is a bonus. Yeah.
And I think Samson's trajectory was already making him improve.
Yeah.
And I think he's on a very solid trajectory.
Yeah.
I suppose what this is highlighting is how wrong I think Andrew's approach has been.
Well, it's also highlighting that you think Rami isn't going to be any better, which I don't know if I agree with.
I think he could be he could be slightly better, but I think the other boys I've mentioned will be quite a lot better than they were. Enough to actually change their fates at this show.
Who else? Does anybody agree with that? Not that
Again,
no.
I don't see Andrew in front of Samson.
No, and that's fair, and it could go. I guess
that's not the question. Oh, sorry, I'll give you a more specific question. Do you guys think Rami can't improve between the Olympia and now? Because I personally think something was wrong with his prep. From the fact that he was doing an hour of cardio the morning of the show.
Yeah.
The fact that
that's nuts.
The fact that his posing was off. The fact that he didn't really look full across the chest and shoulders. So I feel like a lot of his peak maybe went wrong. So I do think he's going to look different. The thing is, I just think Samson's going to be harder. And I already thought at the Olympia that Samson could have been placed ahead of Rami.
I do as well. And I still think Samson had a margin of condition that he could have improved on, and he's already improved on.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm very keen to see this now, because the latest update that I saw of you, Samson, was incredible. Like, the condition was actually, it's probably the hardest I've ever seen you with the new muscle you've put on, which you take your structure and your muscle mass already, you can beat people, put that sprinkle of that new condition you've got as well. That's why I say that the top 4, like, you're one of the guys that could win this show for sure.
Thanks.
So we'll see.
James, are you going to the show or no?
Yeah, I think so.
You got tickets already?
I think something. Branch said something sorted. So I don't know.
Oh, from Gasp. Okay. Paul, do you get tickets because you're judging or what?
I don't know. I haven't been told anything. I'm just going to try and get tickets there. Well, I'm going to try and get them beforehand. Like pre-judge, I don't think it'd be a hard time to get tickets still. Finals might be a hard time.
I can ask Brian and see if there's any tickets available that I can get you guys. Ben, did you have any tickets? Did you look into it yet?
No, but I probably should be backstage-ish. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got a few clients for you, so I will say this. I mean, but you've got people in. You've got people doing the amateur one as well.
Denise will always. Yeah, I have that.
I will say this. I'm team going into this. I am my support's behind Samson and Andrew are my 2. Like, if I was to say wear a jersey and it's got their names on, that's my boys in this show. That's what I would say.
You can't have 2 names.
I can have 2 names. I can have one on the back and one on the front. Yeah,
he's sticking with Andrew. He's just taking out of it now.
No, I'm not. I promise. There's 2 people that I have a lot. It's because I have a mutual respect for you both, because I've been treated very well by you both. So it's very hard for me. I can't put a line in between, because I feel like you've both been very good to me as well.
Listen, Andrew's very, very impressive, man. There's nothing. Yeah. There's no doubt. There's no.
They
doubt.
are, and they're very different, though. This is the problem. Look. I know we always do this on the show, right? Like as a joke, 2 black guys couldn't have 2 different black physiques.
They're not very. They're not very different.
They are very different.
They're different. They're different.
Andrew's angular. Samson's round.
They're both Nigerian.
It means fuck all. With the aesthetics are very different. That's why I am keen to see how they stack up, because I would love to see more comparisons of you 2. I think that would make a great show.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what I think, and I'm glad.
I would like to see, and this is by no means to leave Nick out of it, because I think Nick and Sean will be great comparisons. But just because I like the height factor, because one of the things that blew my mind at the Olympia was seeing Samson next to Rami.
Made him look short.
Well, they looked equal in size, which blew me away because I didn't realize it. But it would be cool to see Andrew in that call out as well.
Yeah.
Like see
the big boys. You want to see what the big guys.
See Andrew, Samson, Rami call out. Maybe a Bonac, Nick, Clarita call out.
Yeah.
And the last couple of pictures, Justin. I think Justin Rodriguez might shock some people too, because
he's improved a lot.
The last few pictures he's posted.
Do you remember Justin prejudging last year?
I said that a few shows. I said that a few shows ago, Ben. I said if Justin,
I was like, whoa.
I said if Justin shows up like he did on the Friday night last year, he will be in the mix.
In there. Yeah. It's dangerous.
Yeah. He is very. He's got his margin of like how good he can look is crazy because he's one of them guys that comes into a show. You see a few check-in pictures and he looks reasonable shape, and then all of a sudden, bam, he's in shape. That's funny. What I noticed with Jay.
It's funny with Justin is his margin for error is very, very small.
Yeah. If he's off,
like if he's 1 or 2% off, it just doesn't look nearly as good as when he's 100% on.
He's got to be crisp and full.
Yeah.
What he is, he's impressive.
From where we were sat last year, he walked out. It was like Samson and Justin were the two physiques that caught my eye.
Wasn't Justin winning at one point or second place?
I think he was because I remember seeing him backstage before he went on, and honestly, he was the one guy that walked out with the prejudging, and I just looked and I go, you know what, hats off to you. You just killed it.
Yeah,
because I genuinely just looked at him, wow.
Saturday faded so bad, right?
Well, it
was not the same.
The other thing about his proportions are just fucking nuts. His shoulders are so wide across, and then he's got this kind of a small waist. And it just when he turns around, especially, it just fucking looks nuts.
He's a little bit like Victor Martinez in ways.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Proportion wise,
Victor was also like that though. Victor wasn't on. Did he? Yeah. Interesting. So James, what's the coolest shit you've done so far while you've been away?
Honestly, I'm training. It's probably tomorrow. I'm training at Metroflex tomorrow.
Are you with Branch?
I'm going with Branch. He's gonna do. I think he's doing like an arm day. I'm doing legs. But we're gonna like do some filming, and then I
don't break any of the equipment.
Yeah, I still tell everyone that story. I love that story. I think it's fucking fantastic because it makes no sense at all.
What story?
Like, I can't really go into it, but it doesn't make sense. I've seen some of the equipment in there get thrown around a lot.
Oh yeah.
James and I did back in there, and we did single arm dumbbell rows.
This is very unlucky.
It was like the second or third sit in. It was a 160-pound dumbbell, and I put it down, and I let it go from. I've got the video. I let it go from here, and the dumbbell just went.
It broke in half.
It was on his last legs, and it just went.
And I'm like, I've seen Ronnie and Branch just fling
throw them, yeah.
I'm like, think.
Oh man.
I took it to Brian. I'm really sorry.
Yeah. So
yeah.
James, don't you have no interest in? I know you don't train like Branch, but have any interest in?
I would love to train with him, but it's more like I'm very accommodating to the people around me. Like if someone like him wanted to train, then I'd definitely train. But I would never really put someone out of their routine to train.
He won't ask you to train.
I went and say that
exactly.
Yeah.
I went and trained legs with him when we were all down in Austin, and it was me, Keon, Martin, and Branch, and I was supposed to do back, but Martin and Keon were doing back too, and then Branch was doing legs on his own, and I'm like.
All right,
when am I going to get a chance to do legs?
Yeah. Well, Ben, I've got a few more days. Maybe I'll have to just fucking say,
I think that's like it's almost like a bodybuilding pilgrimage. I think you have to do it if you have a choice.
I
can't say no.
I'm frightened.
James, I honestly, he was warming up, and I walked over and was like, "Hey man, you might have a jump in." He said, "Yep, let's just keep up." I went, "Okay,
all right."
Just keep up.
Yeah, just keep up.
Just train hard. Just train hard, and he's golden. I
don't know if you guys have seen him lately. Like, I think he's bigger than 2 years ago. Like, he looks really.
The last time I saw a picture of him, he looked like he was back on.
Bro, he looks crazy. He looks great.
He looks
Olympia. You got that Masters Olympia.
When is that show?
It's quite a while yet. It's in Rome,
I don't
isn't
think
it?
Branch is not doing it, man. I don't think there's any money in that show.
Nah, there's nothing. He don't need to do that.
I'd be surprised if he is doing it, but
no, I'm serious. I don't think there's any prize money.
I've seen some like posts on the internet saying something. I think Victor Martinez said like, "Why would I do a show when they're not like there's no reason to do it financially."
Yeah.
Oh, really? It's not even.
I don't think there's. Yeah, I don't think there's any.
Why the fuck would a 50-year-old legend be like, you know what? I'm going to put myself through hell again for nothing.
Yeah. Really surprised because
when they brought it back, rights.
When they brought it back that one year when Dennis James was second, I think, or third, and Dexter won it. It was big prize money. I
there was one year where they did.
But wasn't it like 30 grand that year or something like that?
I thought it was like 50-ish, but maybe I'm wrong. But I'm surprised they didn't put up at least that much.
Do you think 50 is good is 50 a valid amount for a 50-year-old to come out of retirement?
I don't think so, but that was 10 years ago or whatever. So making 100 grand now, whatever.
It depends on what the athlete has done with their money. If they're broke, it's a lot of money for them.
Yeah.
I think it depends on viewership. I think if they think they can get a lot of people interested, then the money should be according to the viewership. If everybody that watches the Olympia is like, yeah, I got to see Dexter, Victor, fucking all these guys compete again, then yeah, you should give them 100. But if like there's barely anybody watching, then yeah, it all has to be independent.
Would you watch it?
Would I watch it?
If the big guys run it, I would.
I wouldn't. I think it's stupid.
So I mean, I don't really want to support. I don't really want to support something that I don't think should be happening.
Yeah.
I just don't think. Number one, it's probably not healthy.
Yeah.
But that's not my business. It's up to them what they want to do with their bodies. But number two, you're never ever going to see a guy retire for a number of years and come back and look like they looked. Like it's always going to be a worse version, which is going to leave that in my head.
You know what? The only dude that did it to some credit was when Lee did the Nabba.
Yeah, Lee's different though. Yeah,
Lee was the only guy, in all honesty, the only guy that came back looking a very high percentage of the quality he had.
But I think it's because Lee keeps training. Like Lee doesn't really stop training.
Yeah.
Where I think a lot of guys, when they retire, they kind of like slow down.
Yeah.
And then they're trying to ramp it back up and it never comes back the same. But like,
same, does it?
Like, what are we going to see? Like, we've seen Dexter at his absolute greatest for like 30 years.
Mm.
What's he going to look like if he comes back at 53 or something? You know what I mean? It's like, why, like, how good is Victor going to look? How good is, I mean, if they're paying $100,000, then fucking maybe it's worth it, you know? But like,
I feel like a Masters Olympia it'd probably be, it would be made a mock of, I think like there'd be a lot of things saying, what's the point? You know, a lot of the social media channels would be like there'd be a lot of criticism. There'd be people saying, look how he looks, even though they're not taking into account their age, but you still get it. Yeah. So it's probably just not worth it.
You're right. You're going to ruin legacies as well. Like look at a lot of people like Kevin. We all know Kevin from how he used to look.
Yeah.
Right. And then there's a lot of people that are judging Kevin based on
the last Olympia he did.
Yeah, the last one he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's tough to call. It's tough to say because honestly, like if I didn't have a lot of tears and shit, maybe I would be like, you know what, that's kind of fun. So I can't really say like it's good or bad for anybody else. But as a viewer, I don't know. I think I'd watch it just out of curiosity.
I'd definitely watch it.
Would you pay? Would you pay to go and watch it?
I don't know if I'd pay to go and watch it, but I'd pay for the pay-per-view. Like I'd pay $25 or $30 or whatever it is to watch it on. I mean, I love bodybuilding, so yeah, I think you know what, I would watch it.
There's something nostalgic about it.
I don't. Obviously, the guys aren't going to look the way they looked, but I think just out of curiosity, I would pay the $30 for $40.
If you were 21 years old again and just getting into the sport now, would you watch the Masters Olympia?
No,
so because you know, and you have the connection that
it could be that.
No, but I don't think that's the demographic they're going for. I think when they do the Masters, they're going for all of those people's fans. They're like, if you were ever a fan of Dennis, if you're ever a fan of Victor, if you're ever a fan of Dexter, then you're probably going to watch it.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be a really good idea, and I know this doesn't make sense really because when you're bodybuilding, and you're doing a show, you're depleted and fucked. But like if it was around an event where there was like like seminars held by these legends. So like it was all happening over a weekend. So it was an experience. So it was like a weekend with the legends, but they would compete on a Saturday. And then on the Sunday, like there's like a sit down seminar with like all these legends talking about old times and stories. Like that for me would be more of a draw than just the show alone.
One sec. Sorry, James. I just want to understand. So you mean they would compete? They would all still do the Masters, but then the next day they would be sitting around talking.
Yeah, like there'd be a follow-up event that the people that saw the show could also go and attend.
But we kind of have that already with the Arnold. Like, how popular is that? I've never been to one of those. I know they have like the superstar seminar like the next day.
Yeah, I don't know how popular it is.
How popular are those? Do a lot of people go to those?
Well, they still do them, so maybe they are doing okay because obviously it's been happening, every year. And I don't know. Yeah, I feel like there'd have to be more than just a competition itself for it to be a draw. If I'm honest,
Samson, would you watch? Yeah. Would you watch like the 90s guys or early 2000s guys like Jay Cutler? If he came back, would you watch it?
I don't know. I'll probably watch it, but I don't know if I'll go to it though. But then you got a lot of guys that are over 50 that's still competing now. I mean, Kamal is 52. Phil Clahard and a few guys that actually still actively compete in that age. I probably would likely do it. Yeah, they're probably not the hype names from Legends of yesterday, but them guys are
true,
actively doing it now. I mean, among all the guys that retired, which one would actually come back for something like that? I don't think that there's many.
No.
None of them are going to come back for free. But if you
but even if they had a big prize money, I don't know if many of them would.
I think Victor would do it. I think Victor and Dexter would do it if it was like 50 grand or 100 grand.
What if it was someone like Phil?
Okay, yeah. What about the age group? Yeah, I was going to say that. Like,
I don't think Phil would do it based on legacy alone.
Yeah,
like if you've won 7 Mr. Olympias, I think it's like I don't want to win that.
Yeah, you're out.
I agree, but that's what would make it a draw. If they did bring out guys like Phil, Jay, like these legends,
but
come back again.
The promoter would have to pay Phil.
Absolutely would. Yeah, which wouldn't make it worthwhile probably, but that's what would make it cool if they got like guys like that to come back and do it.
I mean, who knows? Maybe if they made the prize money big enough, Phil would come back. But I would think it would be a downgrade for somebody who's won 7 Mr. Olympias to. Phil's still going to come back to the open stage, let alone
and place top. Yeah,
top, so why would he go to the master stage?
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, do you think like careers kind of go later nowadays too? So make a Masters Olympia less interesting than it would have maybe say 20 years ago, 15 years ago. Because guys are competing well into their 40s now.
What's the Masters age? Like, what is the limit for it?
Is it 45?
In amateurs and men's, it's 40 and up.
No, Samson, you said for the pro.
I think is it 45? I think it's 45, isn't it?
I thought amateurs was 35.
That's for women.
That's women, I believe. Yeah. So they're saying women are older earlier. Okay.
They're saying we don't want 45-year-old women on stage. Let's do 35.
Just keep it a little bit fresher, you know. Yeah, that's an interesting debate now. What topic?
All right. James, I'm sorry we caught you at the very end, dude.
It's all right, man. I'm glad I got to at least just say hello to everybody and see you boys.
Samson, we're probably not going to see you till next week.
Catch you guys in Ohio.
Yeah, we will. I'll catch you there, bro, as well.
Good luck the rest of the way.
Oh yes, you're smashing it, bro.
Any final comments?
Look forward to it.
Any final comments for the fans before you go?
Don't miss the show, man. It's going to be a fun one. That's for sure.
All right,
make me a jersey with your name on it, Samson. Win and then throw the jersey at me and say fucking.
I don't give you a Hosstile top, man. I'm like, yo.
Yeah, perfect. Then I win too. Awesome. All right, boys. Good to see you guys.
All right.
We'll talk soon.
Yeah,
okay?
Nice seeing you guys.
Take care, everybody.
All right,
bye bye.